What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a little tinfoil hat theory for you guys, in that I believe we may have actually had a Hazard Zone teaser in the Exodus short film, and I'm going to go through and explain this little theory of mine. Before we get into it though, if you guys are new to the channel and you end up enjoying the video, then do consider subscribing and turning on those notifications so that you don't miss out on any upcoming Battlefield content. But with that being said, let's get stuck right into it. So I'm sure by now most of you guys would have seen the Exodus short film that was released by Battlefield probably around 2 months ago now, and although it didn't really give us too much information on the game itself, it did give us a little look into the backstory of Battlefield 2042, and of course it did introduce Irish back into the franchise as well. Now, for the most part, as much as I really did enjoy the short film, I didn't think all that much of it. It didn't show any new information about the game, or did it? My little tinfoil hat theory is that there were actually multiple little teasers within that short film that none of us really picked up because at the time it just didn't seem like it was anything important. But today I'm going to go through each of those little links between the short film and some of the rumors that we have heard about Hazard Zone. To provide a quick little bit of context, I'm going to play you guys a snippet from the Battlefield Show podcast, which I'm actually a co-host on with my good friend Sage, who runs the podcast himself. And if you guys aren't listening to the Battlefield Show every Friday, then be sure to head to the link in the description, because that is a podcast you do not want to miss out on. But yeah, I'm going to quickly play this little snippet just to give a quick little bit of context about my theory.
Apparently there's this thing called extraction streak, and it seems to be an integral part of Hazard Zone, and they say it's going to have possible streak bonus, streak discount, and tactical upgrades, and they're drawing inspiration of it, kind of like a temporary perk availability from the Dark Zone in the Division 2. Yeah,
I was looking at it the other day, and it's interesting. It does make it feel more like it will be like an Escape from Tarkov thing, the whole extraction. Like, it makes it feel like you, however you like get into the game, whether you like drop in like most battle royales or whatever, and then your goal is to like I've seen a lot of rumors of, like, in Exodus obviously they talk about that satellite dropping and they have to get there. That could be a tease to it, that like the satellite crashes somewhere and you have to like get to the satellite and get info or whatever the case may be, and there might be other objectives and stuff. And then similar to Escape from Tarkov, and there's other games out there that like that, you have to like complete as many missions as you can and then try and escape safely. And if you don't, like if you die before the end, then all of those objectives don't really matter, and it's kind of up to you to whether you just drop in and you don't even try and do any objectives and you just get a few kills and get some loot and then leave and keep that loot, or whether you kind of like send it and go, all right, this is the one, boys, we're going for the big objective or whatever. It's definitely starting to get very interesting for me hearing all this stuff, because Hazard Zone is probably the thing that I'm probably the most excited for, to be honest, because I'm a big Warzone fan. I'm big into those like really intense games, so it's getting really, really interesting to me. And yeah, this extraction stuff, just the word extraction makes it seem like, okay, that's probably, it's going to be something similar to that anyway. So I touched on the link between Exodus and Hazard Zone a little bit earlier on in that clip, where I personally think that the satellite going down in Exodus could actually be a part of the Hazard Zone game mode, whether it be the main objective of the game mode, having players and teams fighting over the satellite in order to maybe retrieve some info and then escape safely from the game in order to win, or something like that. And although that really is just speculation as of right now, there are multiple other links between Hazard Zone and Exodus that could start to add fuel to the fire. For starters, the only official image we have of Hazard Zone is this image here of a bunch of soldiers getting onto a helicopter, but the location of that helicopter might look a little bit familiar. It's definitely not confirmed, but it does look a hell of a lot like the Exodus ship that we see in the short film, giving a pretty decent link between the film and the game mode. And again, that doesn't at all mean it is confirmed, but it is all just adding up bit by bit. Now, on top of all of that, I'm sure you guys would have heard some of the rumors out there about what Hazard Zone could end up being, and if not, I've actually covered it on my channel already, so be sure to check that out if you aren't too sure what I'm talking about. But there are a lot of rumors out there, many of which are actually from notable leakers, that Hazard Zone could be something very similar to Escape from Tarkov mixed with Hunt Showdown. Now, I've talked a fair bit about Escape from Tarkov before, but I haven't actually mentioned Hunt Showdown, and that game really does link up pretty well with my little tinfoil hat theory about the satellite crash. For those who are unaware what Hunt Showdown is, it's a game where you head into a map and you essentially have a bunch of different objectives that you can do, which are optional, so you don't actually have to do them, and instead you can just decide to try and get some kills instead. And then towards the end of the game, you essentially have to try and escape from the map successfully, and I believe you get more points and rewards depending on how many kills you get or how many objectives you complete before reaching safety. That exact type of game mode would work so well within Hazard Zone if that satellite theory turns out to be true, as players could enter the map and have different objectives to complete, one of which, and possibly the main one being, to reach that crashed satellite, extract the intel or whatever the objective might be, and then try to extract yourself and your team from the map. And obviously if you do, you'll get a ton of rewards and bonuses compared to those who died earlier on, or even those who did also survive but didn't get that intel. There'd obviously need to be plenty of other options for objectives and possibly even multiple satellites, because if everyone on the map just went to the satellite, then it would be absolute carnage and you'd essentially be relying on luck to survive. But you guys catch the drift. Some sort of mode along the lines of that could be what Hazard Zone ends up being, and personally I do think that this is going to be the general outline of the game mode. The Exodus short film definitely could have just been a cool little film to show us the state of the world and reintroduce Irish and Pack, but DICE are often very specific with what they show in their trailers and marketing for the game, and like I said, maybe I need to put my tinfoil hat on when I say this, but I do personally believe that Exodus was actually meant to be some sort of little teaser alongside all of the other information they showed off. Let me know what you guys think of my little theory though, guys. I'm sure I probably sound like an absolute lunatic, but I am keen to hear whether you guys think I could be onto something. So be sure to let me know your thoughts down below on how accurate I might be, or even your own little theory for what the game mode will entail. That is going to do it for this one though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. If you guys want to support the content that I make here on YouTube, then do consider becoming a channel member. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.